Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. So my thoughts on the full version of Division 2. Well, what can I tell you, guys? It really looks great. The HDR here, it's really done well. That's due to the fact that Ubisoft by now has really mastered the HDR, the tone mapping on the HDR. They really got it. They understand how to polished up their games, because they are spending time on their levels in the game to make sure that it's properly tone mapped. You know, tone mapping means that the way the light reflects onto the character, the way the color gamut it's implemented, all of that stuff, it's being done manually by Ubisoft, and it's the tone mapping here shows up. Now, you can't really see the HDR here through this camera. No camera can depict HDR. This is why I have a HDR capture card for the video games. I'll upload some more so you can see it. This is the Xbox One X version of the game, and not only are you getting the HDR, but you're getting a native 4K HDR. So you're truly gonna appreciate this on your 4K HDR television, whether you're playing on the Oled, whether you're playing on the QLED or Sony Z90, doesn't matter, TCL. I think you're gonna truly appreciate what Ubisoft has done here. And look at this. This shows you the proper tone mapping. Look at the way the light, the peak brightness of the light here reflects onto the leaves here, and it's done really well. But then again, Ubisoft is not a stranger to HDR. They've done, I think, how many games? Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origin. They have done tons of games where they showed us they know how to properly implement the HDR. You look at the Far Cry as well, Far Cry 5. So they get it, they know. And one great example of HDR, it's right here. Again, it's hard for you to see it with the camera here, but the peak brightness here on this level, like right here, where this lamp is, this street lamp, I'm sorry, this street light, when you look at it, the way it's shining that tree, it's done really well. The fire in the background over there, everything is just done really, really well. That's because we have a proper tone mapping on the HDR. And when you have a proper tone mapping on the HDR, you are going to see that, you know. Like even here, when we're crossing, you can see the haze and the fog, and you can see these street lights, the way they are reflecting. All of that stuff, it's implemented really nicely. Again, you know, I'm not doing this video to showcase the HDR. It's impossible for you to see it through a camera. I want to, you know, clarify that. The only way you can see HDR, it's if I upload an HDR video from this game, and then you got to have HDR television and the YouTube app that supports HDR, so that way you can see it. So yeah, guys, go pick it up. I mean, I'm telling you, this is coming from a guy who wasn't even a fan of the First Division, because the First Division had all kinds of problems and issues. But with this one, not only are you getting a native 4K, not only are you getting a really awesome HDR tone mapping, but at the same time, there's no bugs in this game. The character movements, everything, it's very fluid. It's really done well. So you will not be disappointed by Division 2. If you purchase it, if you decide to purchase it, you will be pleasantly surprised. Now, granted, this type of game might not be for everyone, but I think you will appreciate the level of detail here, the HDR, and of course the 4K, and outstanding mechanics on the gameplay here. There's no bugs. Everything's running smooth. So yeah, this is Mr. 4K approval, seal of approval for HDR and native 4K. Amazing HDR. Go and pick it up, man. Go and pick it up.